Hello, this is Scott Cook, and today is Sunday, Easter, the 9th of April, and I'm here with your market forecast. Let's start by quickly taking a look at what moved the market last week. We are going to start with our good friend, the Forex Factory website. So let's go ahead and take a look at last week. And what I'm going to do here is summarize everything that happened throughout the last week. So to summarize last week, non-farm payrolls were in line with estimates, or nearly in line with estimates, but they were still a deceleration from February. It grew to 236,000, and though it was close to what economists had expected, the total was the lowest monthly gain since December of 2020, and it comes amid efforts from the Federal Reserve to slow labor demand in order to cool inflation. Job openings plummet in February, falling to the lowest level in over 2 years and coming in under Wall Street expectations. Job openings right now outnumber available workers by a ratio of 1.7 to 1, down from 2 to 1 last month. Weekly unemployment claims jump, exceeding expectations. The BLS raised the original claimant counts for the previous 3 weeks. Layoffs in Q1 totaled about 270,000, which is almost quadruple the amount from last year. Economic activity sinks for the 5th straight month. And this is, quote, very much in recessionary territory, unquote. Google AI supercomputer is faster than NVIDIA's A100 chip. So according to the company's latest release, this custom chip, which is called the Tensor Processing Unit, or TPU, handles 90% of the company's artificial intelligence training. So a lot of interesting things coming along with AI. Keep your eye on that whole sector. U.S. auto sales rebound higher as dealerships get more inventory. Now, Tesla reported a 36% jump in deliveries for Q1. Now, speaking of Tesla, they cut prices in the U.S. for the 5th straight time since January in a bid to ignite demand to meet the company's delivery goals. Tesla reduced its Model 3 pricing by $1,000, the Model Y by $2,000, and the Model S and X by $5,000. OPEC announces surprise oil cuts. So this is kind of looking at the entire world. Basically, output cuts of 1.16 million barrels per day, bringing the total volume of cuts this year to 3.66 million barrels per day, equal to 3.7% of global demand. Oil prices rallied on the news, with Brent crude up 10% this week. Finland officially becomes a member of NATO, doubling the alliance's border with Russia. This Nordic nation is the 31st country to join the alliance, which vows in its treaty that an attack on one of its members is an attack on them all. And then finally, the IMF announces global growth is the weakest since 1990, as they see the world economy expanding about 3% annually for 5 years. The IMF blames the lower growth projections on rising geopolitical tensions and tighter monetary policy. Taking a look at the chart of the SPY, you can see what might be some higher lows and some potential higher highs recently. Now, seeing this spot right at the 410 area is also potential resistance. We're right there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens if we can break through that area. Last week was really not too bad for the market itself. In fact, let's zoom in just a little bit. On Monday of last week, the market actually started out pretty good, but then Tuesday, we came down. Wednesday was quite a bad day, but Thursday we got a little bit of a rebound. So with all this data, the market is actually not looking too bad. Now, getting back to the Forex Factory, looking at the upcoming week, we can see that nothing big is happening on Monday. We're taking a look at this impact right here, this column. And what looks like a folder is actually supposed to be a flame. So yellow is low impact expected. Orange is medium impact expected. And then as we go down and we take a look at Wednesday, you can see there's a few high impact expected events. And we're going to focus on the US dollar. Now, we have the CPI, and that's inflation numbers. So high impact expected. Now, if you're not exactly sure what this means, CPI year over year, the core CPI month over month, you click on this folder out to the right, and right here, it's the why traders care. Consumer prices account for a majority of overall inflation. Inflation is important, naturally, to currency valuation because rising prices lead to the central bank either raising interest rates, which is hawkish, or cutting interest rates, which is a dovish monetary policy. So why traders care? I'll give you kind of a quick rundown on what to expect. So we've got the CPI, basically all these inflation numbers coming out on Wednesday, which is going to be important. Thursday, we've got some PPI inflation numbers. So core PPI month over month. Click on this, and again, why traders care. If you're wondering, and this one actually doesn't have the why traders care, but it gives you kind of the actual versus the forecast, what to expect. Let's take a look at this one here, the PPI month over month, and it's basically now you have the why traders care section. It's a leading indicator of consumer inflation. So a lot of inflation numbers coming out on Wednesday and Thursday could have some impact on the market. Then finally, Friday, you can see there's a couple high impact events. Keep an eye on the US retail sales numbers right here. Taking a look at the earnings calendar on the GhosTraders website, we're going to focus on next week here. And it looks like our first earnings announcement is here on the Tuesday. So let's go ahead and click on that, and you can see it's CarMax. Wednesday, we've also got another earnings announcement, and it's FRC. Now, if you guys know about FRC, First Republic Bank, they have plummeted. They're one of the banks that's just struggling to hold on. So should be interesting to see what happens on Wednesday with these guys. And there's a lot of concern right now that one domino could cause another domino to fall. So I think everybody's waiting to see what happens with FRC. Thursday, we've got Delta Airlines, Fastenal, and we've got Progressive. And then finally, Friday is going to be the big earnings day this week. And we've got BlackRock, Citigroup, JP Morgan, PNC, United Health Group, and Wells Fargo. So Friday is going to be the big day for earnings announcements. So there is some concern about the overall market. A lot of data out there that has some of the people that I talked to concerned. However, keep in mind that seasonality is going to play a role. And April tends to be one of the better months for the market. In fact, in 10 out of the last 11 election years, April went up on average 3.5%. So I don't see any major red flags right now on the overall chart of the S&P 500. We do have some things that can impact the market this week, but right now things are still looking okay in the short term. Long term, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's a little saying, sell in May and go away. But for now, everything's still looking okay. So good luck this week.